Hey everyone, welcome back to Critical Rocket Chassis Variant Series. Still staying with the Panther, we've got the 9R. Now this is the 3025 original, so if you know your Battletech history, this is a PPC and a SRM4. Pretty Spartan, but that's how the Panther rolls, as it's nicknamed by the Draconis Combine. It's by the Steiner pilots. Sorry, it's used by the Draconis Combine. It is nicknamed the Alley Cat because of its urban warfare capability of simply being able to step out from between buildings, fire both its weapons into the back of targets, and jump out of the way very quickly. Used correctly in things like city tech or any kind of urban environment, it was a very powerful little light mech. It worked in combination with the urban mech, could cause serious damage to assaults and heavies. Anything bigger than it, basically. Its one downfall, obviously, is it's not the fastest mech in the world, and this is... Yeah, it kind of translates to MechWarrior Online. The Panther isn't the quickest of the light mechs, but it's certainly got that resiliency and the punch. At least, as always, from a stock perspective, the PPC really is the main focal point of this mech. Now, sadly, I do have to point out something with the footage. Shadowplay was being a bitch again, and basically, you might see a little bit of skipping every now and then, or sort of slight frame drops. It's just how fucking Shadowplay decided to be. This recording's will be late at night, so you may hear a cat in the background this one or two. But don't worry, she'll be euthanized later. Anyway, you may hear Kitty in the background. So, the 9R is much like the 10K, it's just the low-tech version of the mech, so there's no ERPPC to give it the minimum range, so you always have to be mindful of that. I do really like using standard PPCs over the ERs, mainly because I can handle the heat a little better, and this one is obviously quirked to use PPCs in the first place, so it's a good little... I like to use it as a kind of support mech. You're not really going to sneak around with it, and you are basically there just to piss off anything big that takes you quite lightly. And once you start pounding them with that PPC, they're going to very quickly take notice, and that's your main tactic with this mech, is don't get in the faces of other lights. Try and stay with the big guys, and just bring that PPC to bear as often as you can. The SRM4, you could count as superfluous. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to use it, and it's certainly not going to be the weapon that gets the kills for you. If you're going to customize this, I've seen a few builds out there. 2 PPCs is certainly possible, although extremely heat intensive. Let's see what I've come across. Obviously, like pulse laser builds, that kind of thing, switching out the SRMs for streaks, that sort of thing. But really, the Panther is a kind of inflexible light, which I think is one of the reasons it's not all that popular with the MWO player base. You know, people like their flexibility with their mechs, and if they can't basically be rebuilt to a specific type of competitive build, it largely gets left in the dust. Which is great for me, because it means my Panther gets largely unmolested, and I don't really see them all that often, which is a really big treat for me. So, yeah, if you're considering the Panther, you kind of have to approach it a bit differently than you would with other mechs, and in the light category anyway, because this thing isn't going to be boating small pulses or small lasers, and it's certainly not going to be outrunning much. Not to say that even with the biggest XL it's slow, it's just, it doesn't have anything on the likes of the Spiders, or the Firestarters, or the Ravens, or those kind of mechs. So, yeah, the 9R, as I said, is virtually the same thing as the 10K. It's just one as an ER PPC and one as a PPC. And that's pretty much it. The main differences between the variants are things like the 8Z in the previous video with its large laser, and I think a couple of extra energy hardpoints. And one of the Panther variants, I think, has dual AMS capability. And I really think PGI struggled to try and make them more unique within the confines of their arcadey type shooter, as compared to, you know, the tabletop, where the difference between a PPC and a PPC is a bit more obvious, and the SRM4 is way more useful, and the jump jets are far more powerful. You see, you have to remember, with jump jets in Battletech, it wasn't a case of you just sort of hover in the air a bit. You would literally kind of do like an arcing leap across the map, and that's what made the Panther so good. So not only could it do 10 points of damage when it hit a target, it could then leap over a building and not receive any return fire. But one of the reasons I kept this video despite the annoying hitching was the fact that it was I think it was a good showcase of the 9R's capability of taking damage and not really going down. I was a bit worried that I was going to die in this fight, and I managed to survive, which I was kind of surprised about. Ooh, spoilers. Nail biting with this one. But yeah, I really wanted to really keep this little fucker alive for this match, and I'd managed to. It was just so annoying when I lost that PPC with that alpha strike, which you can see the flying all over the map. It's like a laser light show. Like anything Eben Jaguar's particularly potent laser boat. Ugh, nightmares of those things. And yeah, I wanted to get this Jenna 2C, his little fucking missile boat. And I missed so bad with that shot. But yeah, this one's going to wrap up in a second. So I hope that one's been okay. The 9R, the 10K, virtually the same mech. Still both very good. Just they're not the most flexible build-wise. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please remember to, if you haven't subscribed already. Rate, comment, let me know good or bad, and get a bit of a dialogue going or whatever. So yeah, have a good week, everyone. Critical Rocket signing out. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Bye.